League of Legends is the most popular player versus player experience in the history of gaming. I'm going to tell you the ins and outs of this game. I've been playing for over 3 years now. A little over 3 years now. I'm going to cover with you guys the basics in the game, the roles inside the game, as well as the professional scene that has been born from the game. Forbes recently published some metrics saying that about 27 million players are online playing every day, and about 67 million different players are playing every month. To give you an example of how many people that is, the entire franchise of Call of Duty sees about 40 million players every month, where League of Legends sees over half of that every day. The basics of the game are 2 teams of 5 players each play on Summoner's Rift. The objective of the game is to defeat your enemy, or to destroy your enemy's nexus, located at the top right and bottom left of the map. The nexus spawns what are called minions, who are non-player monsters who run into their lanes, the bottom lane, the mid lane, and the top lane. In the lanes there are 3 towers, the first tier tower, second tier tower, third tier tower, respectively in each lane. Between the lanes is what's known as the jungle. There's a jungle here. In the river, bisects the map. In the river you'll have your dragon boss and Baron Nashor. Baron Nashor is the strongest creature in the game. It takes about 3 strong champions to take down Baron Nashor without dying. Each player chooses between, chooses from a pool of 121 champions. In 2009, when League of Legends was released, there were only 40 champions to begin with. But about once every 2 months, a new champion is released. And each champion has their own unique stats and abilities that are themed off of them. There is no set role or set roles for the game, but what you'll see in what's called the meta, or the strongest strategy to play, is 1 top laner, 1 mid laner, 2 in the bottom lane, and 1 what's called a jungler. The top laner is usually what's called a tank, who has high defensive stats, who can take a lot of damage, and get out alive. A bruiser is a fighter who excels in 1 versus 1 duels or 1 versus 2 duels. The mid laner is reserved for assassins and mages. The assassins and mages are characterized by their ability to do a lot of damage at once and then get out of a fight without taking any damage. It doesn't allow for a lot of counterplay. In the bottom lane you'll see 2 champions. One, what's called an attack damage carry, who is a squishy champion who has low defensive stats but really high sustained damage output. They're usually ranged champions. And they'll have with them what's called a support champion, who is a crowd control champion, which means they have either a slow or a stun or some kind of debuff to put on the enemies. They could also be an off tank, which is like a tank, but it's more of like a secondary tank. They have less defensive stats, but are still a part of soaking up the damage. The 5th member is what's called the jungler, and his job is to roam on his side of the map in the jungle, taking the mini bosses, Elder Lizard and Ancient Golem, respectively. And yeah, that's the basics and the roles. As you can tell, this game is very complicated with challenging strategies to overcome. But if you do happen to master this game, you can become a professional League of Legends player. Professional League of Legends players play about 6 to 8 hours every day. They earn anywhere from $20 an hour to $30 an hour plus. Some earn over $35 an hour. They play in the International World Championship. The top teams go to the World Championship. This year it was held in the Philippines, actually. This October 19th it concluded. And each year it grows. It started in 2010, and it's grown every year. And this year the prize money was of $1 million for the winning team. That's a lot of money. I actually have an infographic to show you guys. That's a little bit more information about League of Legends. Since 2004, over 2 billion hours logged playing Halo. Every month, League of Legends logs over 1 billion. This is since 2004. Halo is played a lot. League of Legends has played a crazy amount of time. Who plays it? Over 90% are male. That's not surprising. 85% of those players are between 16 and 30, and 60% are either in college now or graduated from college. In social media, League of Legends, 4.1 million likes. Size Gangnam Style, 1.4 million likes. In conclusion, League of Legends is a game with massive international fan base, the most played game in the world, and my favorite hobby.
Yay! Audience, 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 audience.